Greetings and welcome to the Mid-Missouri Kayak and Weather Report for March 2024. On March 4th, the last day that I can say I'm 70, the temperature is 75 degrees at 12:20 in the afternoon with a predicted high of 78. I won't be surprised if it makes 80. We had 84 yesterday and about 80 the day before that. The week before that, mid 50s to low 60s, which is above average. I think low 50s is average, and we'll be back to that tomorrow. High chance of severe thunderstorms tonight after 5 o'clock. So I thought, even with the clouds, and there are some nice blue patches, but I thought, you know what, I'm going to get this in my March kayak. I'm getting it in. Not considering the fact that we also had 20-mile-an-hour winds today. And I'm on Binder Lake, and I'm in a cove with a point that's blocking the wind. But once I get back out in that open water, there are some 12, maybe 18-inch waves, and I was paddling against them. That was tough. For the 0.4 of a mile to come here, open water, I would have been here like in 10 minutes, and it took me more than 20. It was stiff. Saw one fisherman. He was getting out, taking his boat out when I first got here. Not seeing any fish. And I was wondering just how cold the water would be if I would get a cold breeze off the water, but it's not bad. I mean, it's cold, breezy. But this stump right here, turn, that I'm holding on to, that's at a slope. And at the far side of it, there were 3 turtles hanging on there before I first got here. Yeah. And I actually did see a dead bee floating in the water. So things are happening around here. But yeah, it's Missouri, it's not New York. Doesn't mean we can't have some kind of snow between now and Easter. Yeah, Easter is a March Easter. Easterly. No. Okay, so yeah, and also if you look behind me, right there and there, you can see the trees coming up out of the water because this is a valley that was flooded. It's a shallow valley. They put a dam at one end. Fisherman was saying he was at 17 feet when he was fishing earlier today. So, yeah. So there's trees. Most of them are closer to shore in these shallow areas. Except stumps like this. There might be stumps like this right out in the middle of the lake too. And I've been weaving through them thinking, well, okay, I don't want to run into them. And all of a sudden, my kayak gets raised because I go over one that's just below the surface. So yeah. Saw swans, so they're back. I assume they go for the winter. I mean, this was frozen a month ago. I've heard a couple of bird calls. I've heard robins, and I heard a woodpecker a little while ago. And that's it. So, yeah, too early, I think, for the great blue herons, although I did see one last month when I was on the Marys River. Yeah, in that video. Yeah, so... All right, so there's your weather, wildlife, kayaking. Let's see what's going on. Going to be in Niagara Falls on March 21st. John Dorsey and I are driving to Niagara Falls to be featured readers at Daredevil Records on March 21st at 7:30 in the evening. Pretty cool, huh? Yeah. And we're driving to Cleveland, stopping overnight, then going to Buffalo. We're going to turn around the next day, head back to Cleveland, because at Cleveland Heights, Mac's Back Books, yeah, in Cleveland Heights, we are featured readers on the 22nd. Yeah. So it's at 7:30 in the Falls, and I think it might be 6:30. I'm not positive in Cleveland Heights. So that'd be pretty cool. And Jen's always a good guy to travel with. I've done that with him a couple of times. I drove to Kingston, New York with him last year, and then earlier this year we drove up to Chicago to do reading. So that was pretty cool. Looking forward to it. I am writing a poem or two a week, not as much as I would like. Still working, trying at my random riffs. I wrote one last month that was to classical music. That's the first one for me. So my random riffs, I've talked about this before. While I'm driving, I get some thoughts in my head. I see something, the sights along the way or where I'm going, and start thinking about them, start writing and work in music. Sometimes I just happen to be listening to music and it works. One time I was listening to Grateful Dead's Truckin', and I got that. That was my first one. I've done Primus, George Thorogood, a few rock songs, a couple of Jimi Hendrix, jazz. I've done quite a few jazz, and yeah, that first classical music last time. So I'll dictate to my phone, you know, yeah. So they're usually about driving, except that last fall I wrote one about hiking. I was walking the trails at Runge Conservation Area. They're paved or wood chipped, and I was listening on my earbuds, my hearing aids, to Spotify, and I was listening to Fleetwood Mac, blues song from Peter Green's Fleetwood Mac, and it's like, whoa, you know what? I can work this in, and I can make a poem, and I did. So I was really crazy about that. I actually done a couple Beatles songs too, I think. Yeah, I have. But anyway, I want to write one about kayaking. You know, because I mean, walking a trail, I'm going somewhere. On a kayak, I'm going somewhere. Or even if it's just looking to the future. So the song I have in mind is Nina Simone singing "Feeling Good." No, it's not an instrumental. I've done instrumentals, but yeah, and this talks about blossoms on a tree. So this is kind of early for that, but I can work it. I know I can. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do next, I think. Been running this through my mind, and now that I'm out here on the water looking at things, yes, I am. And yes, I listening to Spotify on my hearing aids because there's an app which allows me to do that, to feed through my hearing aid. And yeah, I've had these hearing aids for 3 years now. April will be 3 years. So next week, I'm going for my last check before the 3 years is up, you know, under warranty, and they'll retune them. If there's anything issue, they'll send them back and get them cleaned and get them all fixed up. And again, for like, I'm going to also, what I'm also going to do is, she told me last time there's an option. You can extend for a year at a time for 2 years. But it's only cost like $1.50. I mean, 150, I think, to extend them for a year at a time, twice. So I'm going to do that. I'm definitely going to do that. So that's pretty cool. And the warranty now, and I'm assuming it continues the same warranty, is the fact that they're covered for loss too. You know, I don't usually bring them out on the water because I don't want to get dumped in the water with them. But this lake is always so calm, except today. So, yeah, and that's cool, you know, because I can listen to music. It's just like having earbuds. All right, well, this has been your Mid-Missouri Kayak and Weather Report for March 2024. Ciao, folks, and vlog on.